Hello Stampers, this is Super Awesome Stamper Shirley Merker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Wisconsin, USA. Thanks for purchasing my kits in the mail for April/May 2022. So in your white envelope, you will have the supplies to create these 2 greeting cards. So let's get started. This is the envelope that I ship them in. So just pull everything out and see what you got. You'll have 2 kits, and everything to create the card is in the kit except for the paper that I did not cut down. So you'll have 2 sheets of 6x6. They may not be this pattern, so just be aware of that. And then some rainbows and some clouds that you'll need to fussy cut. Your adhesives, I recommend tear and tape, a tape runner, glue dots. You'll need your paper snips, and Stampin' Up! Does sell these paper snips to cut the rainbows and the clouds, and some dimensionals. So I've already taken my kits out of my cello bag. Those cello bags you can reuse for keeping your idea cards in, or they also can be mailed as well. All right, so let's work on the plant card first, which is this card. And I have an orientated landscape so that we can take advantage of having 3 plots along the bottom edge. And the first thing that I attach is my inside piece, which is going to be a white. And you'll have a white in your kit. Grab your tape runner and run down. Now is a good time to, oh, there's my white. Now is a good time to pause the video and fussy cut all of your shapes. So you're gonna fussy cut at least 4 pot shapes. And so I'm gonna set these aside and pull in the pots that I already have fussy cut right there. Next, decide which pattern you want up. Do you want the wood grain up or the tree canopy up? You might have received also a alternate designer series paper pack pattern. I like the more colorful patterns up generally, so that's the pattern I'm going to place up. The reason why you may have received a different pattern of designer series paper is because they only include 2 sheets of each pattern in each pack, usually 6 patterns per pack, which means they're not packaged for demonstrator distribution. They're packaged for the customers, so you get more variety in your pack. Now take your ribbon. This is the peacock ribbon. It's kind of shiny and different colors. So I'm picking one color is more of the solid color and one is more of a metallic. So I'm having the metallic up. Now all I'm doing is taking that pointed end and threading it through the lattice. And then tucking it in on this end as well. There. Okay, and you can trim that ribbon down or you can just leave it as is. So I added the ribbon because it's an anchor point for that lattice. And I'm going to grab my tear and tape on the end. And the tear and tape I'll put behind, along the lattice, and behind the ribbon. So it provides an anchor point right there. Now I'm going to assemble my pots a little different. You may have received a tall pot and a smaller pot, or you may have received 2 smaller pots. Again, the pattern paper had more of the smaller pots than the taller pots. So what I decided to do was do a mountain of pots. So if you got a kit that has these pots, more of the just single pots, my idea was I was going to stack them in the center. Because if you are someone who does gardening and pottery, you know you got to stack all your pots up at the end of the season. I don't know if I like the every other. I think I actually like the smaller pots there, like that, going from larger to smaller. So that's what we're gonna do for that one. All right, so what I'm going to do is apply some adhesive, just lightly. And then I'm gonna flip this over and put some tear and tape on the back, just for some stability. Okay, now take the tear and tape backer sheet off. There we go. Flip it around and attach it down. Now, if you are concerned that the top isn't anchored, you could put a little glue dot on the back of those little circles on your lattice. I think I skipped it. I decided to skip it. Okay, now attach your pots with some glue dots or your tape runner. 1 pot, 2 pot, 3 pot, 4 pot. Sounds like a nursery rhyme. I was not going to have those straight, because rarely in a potting shed is everything perfectly straight. There. Cute, right? All right, last you'll have a strip of these pebbles. Now, I don't have all of the pebbles here because I'm using a strip that I'm currently working on, but you'll have a pebble strip of the grayish and the cinnamon cider. So you use whatever pebbles you want. And I just placed 1 pebble on that dark green pot. How about I place a pebble on all the pots? 1 pot, 2 pot, which one? On that one? Longer one. Let's do a smaller one on the cinnamon cider pot, and a larger one over here to balance it out. There, so you get a couple of different looks. I also threw in a strip of these butterflies. So I've got a mini butterfly right there, the smaller size, and one on the pot on the inside. Okay, so here's another pot. I've already fussy cut. I'm gonna put that one on the inside. And then take my mini butterflies, and you let them flutter wherever you want. You can also keep them or attach some to the rainbow card. Let's do one on this side. There. There we go. Cute card. It comes together pretty quickly. And there's my original sample. So depending on which kit you got is how you'd assemble your card. All right, let's switch those side products off to the side, and let's pull in the rainbow kit. So here's your rainbow kit. Here's the card that we're going to be making. Now I'm going to automatically move or change my ribbon to one I've already tied in a bow. You've got to tie your own bow. Sorry, I didn't tie bows before I mailed off your kit. You're going to fussy cut your rainbows. So in my card I used 2 of the clouds, 1 of the full rainbows, and 1 of the half rainbows. So go ahead and fussy cut those out. Again, your paper snips and Stampin' Up! Does sell these. Is handy to do some fussy cutting. I've given you a 3x3 piece of this glimmer rainbow paper. You might receive this pattern. You might receive a different hue. It was a rainbow of glimmer all on that 12x12 sheet. So just be aware of that. It might be look a little different. And let's see. Let's attach. I'm fond of attaching pieces as I find them, use them as they're usable. Let's put it that way. So the white is a usable piece that just goes right in the inside. And then I've got my little half rainbow. That will go in the bottom. And then my clouds. You might have gotten different cloud pieces. You decide which clouds you'd like to attach and where you'd attach it. So in my sample, I use the Hello from Forever Fern. For the one I'm stamping with you, I'm going to use the Hello from the Biggest Wish. And what I like about the Biggest Wish stamp set is that it's photopolymer, so we can see exactly where we're putting that hello. And I think I'm going to put the hello on that cloud that doesn't have as much design, as white design. It's not as striking. Just like that. Okay, and I use the Melon Mambo ink pad. So let that dry a few seconds. While we're letting that dry, grab your paper trimmer, because I gave you 6 by 6 pieces of pattern paper, which you're going to have to cut down. You're going to have to decide how you want to cut it down. I wasn't sure if you'd want to cut it this way or use it a different way. One thing you can do is, let's attach that down. I just didn't want my ink to smear, and sometimes when you stamp it on the pattern paper, you need to give it a few seconds to dry. Okay, let's get that out of the way. All right, so these are 6 by 6. So you can either cut it down like I have it cut down to 5 inches by, or 5 1/4 by 4 inches, or you could certainly cut this in half by 3 by 3, because I gave you more rainbows than what we're using on the card. So you can certainly add this pattern paper to a second card base in your stash and make 2 cards out of this rainbow pattern paper. So grab this rainbow pattern piece. Again, you might have gotten this rainbow pattern or a different pattern in your kit. Make sure you cut it the right orientation. So I need it to be orientated this way and not rainbows on the side. So cut this to 4 inches. And then 5 1/4 inches. All right, and then I already did a blooper. I cut my 6 by 6 down to be the layer, but I didn't want that. I want this 6 by 6, this geometric pattern 6 by 6 to be the layer underneath my glimmer paper. So the geometric pattern we're going to cut to 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, because the glimmer paper is measuring 3 by 3 inches. So I would get the most out of that expensive glimmer paper. Okay, all right, so we're done with the paper trimmer, so set that aside. I'll bring all your pieces back in. Hopefully you've cut it correctly. Yep, there we go. So add your glue to the back side. And then just glue it up. All right, now we've got a rainbow, a cloud that goes there, and I've got another rainbow cut over here in my pile. I popped that up with some dimensionals, and I think we're gonna do 4 because it's on this rainbow glimmer, which is not very, it's not flat. It doesn't like to accept adhesives. So I would do 4 dimensionals on the back. Before we put that rainbow down, we're going to add our cloud. Have it hanging off the side there. Tie your ribbon. Now you got to do a little tiny bow for that. Right there. Flip your rainbow over and have it meet into the cloud. And then last, you've got a strip of these clear embellishments. They might be clear, they might be metallic, but there are 3 rainbows at the top. Or no, there's more than 3. There are 3 raindrops, sorry, not rainbows. 2, 4, there's only 5. There's only 3. There's only 4. Wow, I can't count. There's only 3 raindrops. Sorry, 3 diamonds and 3 circles. Looking through that, it looked like there were more raindrops than there were. So we're going to put a raindrop in the upper left-hand corner, a raindrop kind of off-center down to the right, and then 1 on the rainbow. And then you have the rest of the clear or silver epoxy accents to do as you wish. All right, and then I did not add any butterflies. I didn't really like it, although it does kind of coordinate with the goldish tones. I just liked I like the raindrops to be the accent on this card. So here's my sample. Here's the card we just created. And then sample on the plants and card we created with you. I hope you enjoyed creating my kits in the mail. Make sure you go to my blog and subscribe so you're notified when I load new content to my blog. And I hope you enjoy the rest of my blog. There are a lot of other features on my blog and a lot of other things that I offer, including bundle bonus. I do have a private Facebook group. So now that you've purchased the kits in the mail, if you're on Facebook, if you'd like to be invited to that private Facebook group for my customers, or there's a private Facebook group where we share Facebook Live demonstration videos about every other month, I can invite you to that as well. That is a free perk for you. Both of those are free perks for you for being a customer of mine. Just shoot me a PM or an email if you'd like to be invited to those private groups. All right, hope you have a great day, and we'll stamp with you soon. Bye.